Welcome back, my fellow Chibits. Today I'm here to bring all of you my first anime review of Owari no Seraph, Episode 1 of Season 2. So, we start off with the reveal of Shinoa's sister being used by Gurren. Now, this has been hinted at in the first season. I remember it being hinted at with the name, and I remember a couple of Chibits kind of telling me some stuff about this, so I kind of already knew about this, but to see how it was kind of brought up at the beginning of this episode, it was just like, whoa, where is this coming from? Like, it just, it just came as soon as the episode started. I'm like, man, this just fucking revealed as soon as the episode starts. But anyways, the episode picks up right where the last episode left us off on. We have it to where we have a mission debriefing. For instance, you have it to where the higher-ups are finding out what happened in the final fight of Season 1. As we know, Yu transformed into some form of Seraph, and it was just an ungodly power he had. And there wasn't really much explanation for that at the end of Season 1, and with this episode, we kind of get a little bit more clarification of what it was or where it came from, and also who was probably a part of this entire experiment on Yu. Now, as we know, with the events at the end of Season 1, there was some form of spy talking to a vampire. I remember that kind of ending off on Season 1. We never really got the reveal of who was the spy, but it's kind of interesting how we got that at the end of Season 1, and then the majority of this episode of Seraph of the end was focused on finding out if Yu was a spy, if others are a spy, if Gurren is a spy. See, I've had my suspicions that Gurren is a spy since the end of Season 1, just the way he acts and his attitude, and I still have some form of suspicion about him being a spy, but for now, Gurren is very out in the open. Like, he just straight up said what it was that was going on. Like, he says, yes, I'm using you, Yu. I'm using you because you're useful. And if I didn't have any need for you, I would just cast you to the side. So, I mean, Gurren just straight up says, yes, I am using you. So, at the very least, he's kind of being an open book. He's being a little bit transparent to where, you can figure out if he's lying or not. But I still feel like he's not saying the entire truth. But I bet if you was to ask him about certain things, he probably would say, yeah, I'm a part of it. But for now, it seems like, Gurren has a bigger plan in mind, which leads into the main point of the episode. So the main point is the top higher-ups, the Hiragi family, they want to know more about Yu. If he is a spy, what is this? Why was he transforming into this weird creature, a Seraph? They want to know more about this. And so throughout majority of this episode, they were testing him with his cursed gear, trying to figure out what he could do, if he was a spy or not. And as it continued on, we get more information. At one point in time when Yu was in the orphanage, he was experimented on. So we now got our information of where Yu was able to kind of transform into what he was. He got his, ability to transform into a Seraph because of the orphanage. They experimented on him. So that means all the kids in that orphanage got experimented on. So here is the question we have to wonder right now. Since this orphanage was used as an experimental lab to where they were experimenting on these children and nobody would really care about them, does that mean Mika is also experimented on? And does that also mean that he might have some form of Seraph inside of him as well, since he was also a part of that orphanage? And they were a part of it a lot longer than Yu was. So think about that right now. Anyways, getting back on to some other things, Shinoa, still best girl. I love her attitude. That's one thing I have to say. When it comes to Owari no Seraph, the one thing I love about this series, the biggest thing I love about the series, is Shinoa. She's such a good character. I love her voice actor, and I love her attitude, the way she acts. Like, when she's like, praise me, and all that, when she's just doing her entire antics of just messing around with you, that right there, just freaking great. I just love Shinoa. She's such a good character. The music-wise, the music seems to be a little bit better than the first season. Now, I like the music from the first season, but I felt like the music of this first episode was very atmospheric. It really set the tone up for this episode because it was handling with politics to the higher-ups trying to figure out what they're going to do next. And this episode was kind of different from the normal episodes we have seen from Owari no Seraph. So it was a great way to start up Season 2 of the series. Now, it was a slow start, not going to deny that. This episode was pretty damn slow, and it wasn't the best thing ever. I'm not going to say it is the best thing ever, but it was enjoyable. I'm glad to see it back. So tell me your thoughts. Are you all happy to see this back? Love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.